And it was a valiant effort, sir.
All right. Welcome back to Overexerted. I am your host, as usual, Benny, and with me, as always, the other hosts.
You're always first, Heath.
Oh, I suppose. I was waiting. I was like, I'm going to give it to James.
Nah, you're always first. James is second. That's Heath.
Save the best for last. I'm Heath. Save the best for last.
I'm James.
All right, now that we've spent 30 seconds on that.
All right.
What are we talking about today, gentlemen?
Well, something kind of big that we've been waiting for feels like ever. In fact, it is for the first time in forever.
Summer.
We are having a world championship.
Yeah.
And that is in 6 days from when we're talking about it right now.
It's been so long that Benny's actually forgotten about it.
So let's talk about Worlds. I mean, we're not going to get too deep into it, but what do you want to kick off with? You want to kick off with wish list?
I would be down for that. Let's get the depressing stuff out of the way first. I mean, no, all positive. All positive.
All positive, yes. Or, positive until we don't get it.
All right, so let's tell the people what to expect over the course of the episode. So we're going to start with our wish list for what they reveal at Worlds in terms of, be it DLCs or whatever. Wish list is a wish list. We're going to talk through, James, kind of your prep for a Worlds-esque tournament coming up the same weekend?
It's actually just tomorrow night's regular weekly. They decided to do triple deck. So it's just the weekly, no special pricing, but we're playing triple deck.
So we'll see if James has guessed what the best triple deck combination is. And then the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of a fantasy draft. We're going to draft some players from the Worlds event. I definitely stole that from Zen Syed's podcast, but I thought it was fun. I love doing that kind of stuff. I love drafting. I'll draft anything. So that's the plan for today. And then of course, any segues, any tangents.
And then of course, we've got to open a couple packs that we didn't open last week.
The box. What I can never remember what we called it, but it's the box of patience. I'm only going to open 2 packs a week for the rest of this season.
For sure.
The box of perseverance.
Perseverance. There you go.
I feel like this is like
because we didn't open a pack last week. We're technically 2 weeks behind.
Yeah, you can open
2
4
packs.
Definitely not opening 4 packs on air.
Heath, you know what's going to happen? 3 of those packs are getting opened while we're talking, and then be like, I got 1 left.
Yes, 100%. He's actually already opened one.
How did they know me? How did they know me so well?
In case anyone's watching on YouTube, if you see Benny's hands kind of fiddling beneath it, it's not anything dirty. He's just opening his packs.
I'm just undoing 1 button at a time.
1.
All right, let's talk about wish list.
Okay,
James,
wish list.
What's your wish list for what they might announce at Worlds?
I mean, I think I'm going to take the most obvious one, and my wish list is a complete, detailed DLC schedule for Season 2. I would like...
You're talking about from DLC 1 all the way to Worlds next
all the way to Worlds. I would like the dates and the locations. That's all I need. That's the full details I need is dates and locations from the first one to Worlds. That's an
ambitious wish list.
That's technically a lot to ask, but also it's not. Yeah. Because they've had 6 months to work on booking all of these places and if they were started working in March or April, all of the ones that they would book would be at least 6 months in advance, minimum. Because they're not going to start till like October probably.
How many DLCs do you anticipate being in that full season to your wish list? 8 for Benny?
I'm saying 8 between North America.
Just for North America?
Yeah, well, we had 6 last year. Let's up the ante, baby.
But we started in May last year.
Here we go. Here we go, though. Okay. Worlds has to be in June or July because it's always going to be before rotation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you backtrack, if Worlds is in, let's say, July, which it won't be, I think it'll be in June like it is now. Then you have to backtrack to Continentals will be in the month before that. which would be, let's say, May, which means you can only go till April. So if they're starting in October, that means if they do one a month, that's a maximum of 6, right?
Yeah.
So minimum 6, maximum 8 if they can manage to squeeze in a few like every 3 weeks instead of every 4 to 5 weeks.
Oh, if they do it every 3 weeks for the people that actually go every time.
Here and there in the slow times when it's not like as busy.
That might actually be a good idea to have them a little more compressed together, because then you don't have as many people traveling around. You have it kind of targeting those sections, and then those people meet up at Worlds. Or not.
There's going to be people that try
North
to
American
do it
Championship.
all.
Yeah,
people that try it all.
Yes.
Of course,
yes.
But I also say let's just move Worlds right to winter next year, and then I can be standing there in my scarf and my jacket, standing in front of the Magic Kingdom. Hi, welcome to the Disney Lorcana Worlds. This is your host Benny speaking, along with me, James and Heath. And boy, do we have a beautiful show for you tonight. Come on, you don't want to be in the park when it's snowing and you get to be there for the Christmas time celebrations, but then you also get to do Worlds?
Yes. I would like to do that.
They're definitely not doing this at their busiest time of year.
I assume that we're going to get Oceanic again. We're going to get a minimum of 4 in Europe again. I think we're going to get possibly 1 in South America / Mexico. Mm-hmm. And I think we're going to get, if they catch up, I think we're going to get, I think they're caught up by then. I think we'll get at least 1 or 2 in Asia.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. China.
So
Japan.
That's a lot to run over the course of the next year. And but I feel like they can put out a lot of that initially if it's just dates and locations. Cities and dates, I think, are perfectly reasonable for them to have planned, because they can book things like 2, 3, 4 years in advance if they wanted to. And now that they have a schedule and a time frame that they're hitting each year with Worlds, I think that that's something that they can be planning in that far in advance.
Yeah. Keep in mind they only had 4 in Europe last season.
Yeah.
So my estimation was closer to 4. I thought 4 in each North America and Europe. And then
I think that I would rather them go up to 6 in Europe and then keep it 6 here and just hit the monthly schedule here, because the teams in each region are going to run them. They don't need the entire Lorcana staff from North America at every one of them.
I think the other thing that you have to keep in mind is not just how many tournaments can they run, but how many people do they want at Worlds? Right? Because I don't think they necessarily want more than 32 competing at Worlds, because then it starts getting a little messy. You pretty much have to go from 32 to 48 or 64 at that point, if you're going above 32. I mean, it's messy right now with 28, quite frankly.
Right.
Ravensburger. But 32 is definitely a lot cleaner. So, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's, by the way, we didn't do an episode last week, so we didn't talk about the pricing and the schedule.
Oh my gosh, we have to talk about the pricing.
All right. All right.
Okay, let's keep with the wish list for a moment.
Yes.
Benny, what's on your wish list other than the DLC announcements?
That's a good question. Maybe a little bit more. No, I don't want to steal that from Heath.
I can't imagine.
Kind of actually similar to what James was saying. For me, it's not so much Worlds. I just need to know all the DLCs as soon as possible. I want to know if I get to go to Seattle or not with the group that I went with last year, because it was an absolute blast.
Just don't
not
kill
just
on a
the DLC. The DLC was a blast, but the scooters were also. I just want to get out there and have fun. And
okay, let me ask you this.
I need it. My golden retriever brain needs it. My border collie brain needs it.
This actually isn't on my wish list, but I'm curious if either of you have a wish list for it. What about if they announce some of the promos for next DLC season? Do you have a promo that you want to be one of the either you can say one of the non-foil ones that you can get more easily accessible, or one of the foiled ones, or the mega prize, like any ones that you've considered that you'd like to see for a promo? Oh, making you think there.
I mean, my answer is always just going to be like
Elsa.
No, not Elsa, because we'll get one eventually. I know we will.
Yeah.
It's a Goofy. I want a Goofy. I would like every year for
Is there
some
a good
major
Goofy for them to do as a promo?
Super Goof. Come on.
Okay, I can give you that one. That one's okay. That one's at least interesting in terms of the design, and it's a decent card. Okay, Super Goof.
But along those lines, I would like them to pick one of the whatever they call them these days. I know that there's a word you use for the main Disney characters, the Fantastic Five.
Oh, the Fab Five.
Fab Five.
Yep.
I would like them, and add, of course, the sixth one that gets left off, which is, I think it's Daisy.
Yeah.
Yes,
but I would like
them
to pick. I mean, it's an easy pick each year. Just pick one of them, and let's just go. That's the first 6 years of one of the special prizes for the year is one of the Fab Five.
Oh, you're talking about like the main one, like the Golden Mickey, have a golden Fab
Mickey.
Five every year?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, obviously they're going to go with a princess and something else, but I would like at least one of the prizes. They can make it a top 32 or the Let It Go style promo, but I would like one of the challenge prizes each year that goes to the tops to be one of the Fab Five.
Or
make sure we get one each time.
What if they went in the direction of those original 6 D23 promos that they did?
Oh yeah,
one of those.
They could start there and just go. I mean, those are all classic characters too, so why wouldn't you, right?
I know Benny would love the Robin Hood. Golden Robin Hood.
I would drive to every DLC. I must win.
Must win the Golden Robin Hood.
That's weird. None of the other competitions showed up. I guess it's just give it to me. I guess.
Somehow sabotaged every single person. Benny, any other promos that are in your heart that you'd like to see for the DLCs?
That has not been announced.
Well, they haven't announced any. Like, we don't even. They could go with the same ones again. They could go with the eye to eye.
Eye to eye.
I mean, if it's coming in the next set, they could make it one of them. Sure.
Yeah, they could. I have a feeling we're going to see. We're going to see a lot of Goofy movie stuff as some specialty things, I think.
You mentioned
I think
Goofy.
If they miss the mark
in this set, that could be a promo if it was good.
That's true. If they miss the mark on Goofy movie promos or playmats,
they won't. There'll be an eye-to-eye playmat.
They gotta realize this is the one.
One thing I've noticed: the playmats aren't always right away, so you'll see an eye-to-eye playmat eventually. I feel like I can guarantee that.
The perfect cast.
Just internally, there's enough people pushing for Goofy movie, let alone all of us.
What was what did you have a wish?
I didn't actually. That's why I was just curious what you were. I'd say for me, again, mine are always just I want something at least quasi-competitive, like something I could actually play. That's always my guess. In terms of wish list, I do have a wish list. I don't know if Benny, this is the one you were trying to resist the urge to steal from me. To talk about ambitious, I would really love to announce a limited DLC.
I was gonna say more support for limited.
I want a limited DLC, man. Give me a draft DLC, and I will be a happy man. I don't care where it is. I don't care when it is. I'm sorry, is it my anniversary? Sorry, honey. We're going to the DLC.
Honey, come with me. Let me see what you drafted.
And then I will
inevitably
scrub out. It's fine.
I mean, it's just announcements, and so a wish list of announcements is, I don't know. I think that's really just about it. Is like, let us know what we're doing for the next year, so we don't have to stress about any gaps in communication, because we'll have the roadmap. We already know we're getting a set every 3 months. We already know, that's what we'll be doing. We already know we're going to go every week to our local game store where there's going to be set champs. So just the DLC schedule, and of course, if they want to announce something like more regional things, so that we have kind of like something between set champs and DLCs, that would be awesome. But I'm not. That's not something that I am expecting at this point. I think the organized play manager Coop, I think he's only been on the job since like maybe April or May. so he hasn't had a lot of time to organize these things.
Yeah.
But that's really all I want. I want a good stream with some fun announcements, maybe some reveals from Fabled.
Oh yeah.
Maybe a few of those, and maybe something. Yeah, just go from there and make it a good stream. That's what I want. I'm going to be sitting there for 12 hours each day watching it, so I want it to be fun and engaging, and good play.
Yep.
Some fun stuff.
All right, so
I mean,
yeah.
That isn't Ravensburger's best bet to give us a roadmap. You got to realize that most of your players are millennials or parents, and I got a tough enough time with a buddy who says to me, "Hey, you want to do something next month?"
I need you to prepare yourselves though. Like we're probably not getting maybe we'll get a few DLCs announced, but
what?
I don't know. In the state of play, or whatever article it was on the news, they said we don't really want to share anything until we can share everything. And they said that they're going to announce DLC information on the
They said information. They didn't say dates.
Right, but they are going to announce everything. So I think we're going to get a lot of information. It's just how deep into it.
I've been hurt before, James. I've been hurt before.
But they've been much better over the last month or so with weekly lore casts.
Oh, the weekly lore casts have been. I really have to give them credit. I've been critical of the communication. The weekly lore casts have been good. It's still early days, but I've been really impressed. What about the prizing for Worlds?
All right, here we go. I'm going to bring it up on the screen here in just a second.
Yes, please do.
Here we go. All right, here we go. Here's the prizing.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's start it off. All 28 players get a Whole New World foil. We were expecting that because we're getting the non-foils in the event in December.
Yep.
An Ultra Pro Premium deck box. This is one of the funny ones here because
it's a $50 deck box.
Yeah. Which is a nice deck box, but
sure, but compared to everything else.
They're getting a Whole New World playmat, which I'm assuming is going to have some foil accents as well, and Whole New World card sleeves. So I have heard a variety of people talking about the value of this, and this is for all 28 players. But the Forbidden Mountain, who is really keyed in on values, says that basically this is a $20,000 payday.
I think this is about a minimum.
Anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 just for the card, depending on how it hits and what everyone is like walking out of that for. But I'm assuming that it's going to be like 15 to 20K just for the card, because there's 28 of them.
How much Baymax is worth, and it's I don't think going to be nearly as popular just from a card and art standpoint.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is, am I correct, slightly more rare?
It will be more rare once the World Championship finishes. Currently, the Baymax, there's only, I think, 16 of.
Okay.
But then
I was sitting here looking at like the 1-win, 2-win, 3-win, 4-win, and I was like, personally, I'd be aiming for the 1-2. Like, nothing against it. No offense to our Cusco.
Oh, it's just a matter of rarity.
There. I'm like, I would go for the Cinderella and the Rapunzel.
It's just because of rarity. Yeah, right, Cusco is more valuable because of rarity.
Right. Yeah, it's how many were handed out. It's the level that it was handed out and where it was handed out at. Yeah. So the day one prizes, and so if you don't know the World's format, basically they're going to do 7 rounds of Swiss. The first 3 are sealed. The next 4 are triple deck, and it's 5 wins gets you into day 2. So if you hit 5-0. You're done for the day. You walk away. You're going to tomorrow. You don't have to play 2 more rounds. And then at the end of 7 rounds, if they don't have 8 players that have 5 wins, it's whoever is at the top with 4 wins, and then by percentages.
Yeah.
So you get 1 win, you get a Cinderella Stout-Hearted Challenge foil.
Yeah.
You have 2 wins, you get a Rapunzel Challenge foil. Now the value on the Cinderella is about $1,000.
Yep. So just an extra K for
winning a game. Yep. Sit down. And the thing is now, and this is the thing to think about, you sit down for a game, this is on the line.
Yeah.
Every game you play, minimum $1,000 is on the line.
Yep.
Until you win, and then even more is on the line because the Rapunzel's worth about $2,500.
Yep.
3 wins, the Cusco, that's about $3,500, I think. 4,000, somewhere in that range. The Baymax with 4 wins is about a $10,000 to $13,000 card.
Yeah.
And then with 5 wins, you get another whole new world promo, which again, maybe 15, 20, could be 25. Who knows? So if all 8 people go 5-0 who make it into day 2, that means there will be 36 whole new worlds at that point.
Yeah.
When you get to day 2, everyone who makes it to day 2 gets another Mickey. It's like, here, take another gold Mickey. You've already got at least
this one's just like, meh.
Here's another one. 10, 10
what's
12,
this garbage?
15,
Let me throw in with the rest of this bulk.
Another $12,000 card. Whatever. Now here's again. This is another funny one, which it's nice, but top 4 gets a full set of Reign of Jafar, including Enchanteds. Now it doesn't even say full set; it's just a full set, so it's 1 of each.
Yeah.
So it's about $2,000 worth of cards.
Yeah, which is funny because that's the most expensive thing for them to print.
Yeah. Yes.
Of all of these, this was the most expensive for them and the least impactful for the people winning it.
Top 2 gets 1 copy of each Year 1 Challenge Series promo, including North American European Championship and World Championship promos.
Yep.
That means they get again a Cinderella, a Rapunzel, a Cusco, a Baymax, a Whole New World, a Mickey,
Let It Go,
Let It Go, Elsa's Ice Palace, the Invited to the Ball,
just
everything.
So
a Dragonfire.
So much money. Yeah, the Dragonfire. At that point, they're wiping themselves with the Dragonfire.
So you get all of that if you make it into the final
match.
I meant. So each of them gets those. So that means that if the maximum amount of whole new world foils that will be in circulation is going to be 38. That's the maximum there will be of the whole new world foil, like, ever at this point. Because if they do it right, they hand out whatever they hand out, and they destroy any extras they had printed, and that's all that makes it to market ever.
Man.
And then, of course, in the finale, whoever wins gets the trophy and the 1-of-1 serialized Mickey, which if someone walks somewhere outside the door and sells it to someone waiting right there, it'll probably go for $200,000 or $300,000.
I hope you have a security detail if you win.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
So
if you
like
take it
over
online,
$100,000 in cards, right?
It's a lot of
like
it's a lot of money. Yes, the person who wins is walking away. Well, the second place person is walking away with over $100,000 in cards.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, let alone what they've already won. First place is walking away with just so much lottery ticket.
Yeah,
but that's also $100,000 American, which is like $7 million Canadian.
Yeah. Sailor's just like woo.
So the 1-of-1 Mickey is interesting because, like I said, if someone walks out the door and sells it, it's $200,000 or $300,000 probably. But if they decide to start taking offers and institute a bidding war, some of the both trading card and Disney collectors who want the rarest Disney things possible may start a bidding war, and we may hit. It's possible it may hit the Lord of the Rings value, but I don't know if it'll hit the $2 million value. That's a lot.
I think the game would have to take off more for it to hit that kind of value. Like, I could see 5 years from now, if the game has only grown from this point, it hitting that mark. Mm-hmm. I don't think now, but I see it there. I see the potential.
I can see for sure. I can see a quick $500,000 for sure.
Yeah, $500,000 I think is roughly the number I'm thinking it may hit if it goes on into a bidding war.
So this is where I saw people online, and you were mentioning Forbidden Mountain. Dan was talking about this, about how there were people online saying, "Oh, this is such terrible prizing for Worlds." It's like, so their complaint was that Ravensburger / Disney haven't really put much money into the prizing for Worlds. They're not handing out cash. It's like, fair. This is going to cost them almost nothing in terms of the prizing. But as far as the players are concerned, they couldn't care less.
Yeah,
like this is
still means money.
Huge money. Walking in the door, you get $20,000.
You know what? Money is great, but you know what's worse than this? Winning an air fryer. Could be winning an air fryer. So if you got a problem with this,
of the year,
go and play a different game where they give out air fryers as prizes. That's all I'm going to say to all the naysayers and all the negative Nancys.
It's just a simple.
Negative
They don't need to hand you money if they're handing you something that you could, in 3 seconds, turn around to someone and then get money for in a dollar amount that is insane.
If anything, that's the brilliance of it for them. Like they're printing money. This is a license for them to print money.
Let's not worry about the 28 players at Worlds. Every single one of them is having a free vacation at Disney World with all expenses paid, and then walking away with probably $15,000 to $25,000 worth of cards minimum.
So
this
is awesome.
Do you know what's going to happen when I go upstairs after we're done recording and I tell this to my wife about them getting a all-included paid vacation to Disneyland?
She's going to say you got to work harder.
Up to $100,000 in prizing if you do real good. She's going to say, why do you go to work? Why do you...
Why aren't you doing this?
Start training.
Yeah.
Why aren't you smarter? Get better.
Yeah. Harder.
Good, Benny.
Oh, man. All right. So that's it. So that's going to kick off at 8 a.m. Eastern, 5 a.m. Pacific. So I will be getting up at 5 a.m. to watch this. Now, thankfully, the first match doesn't actually start until an hour in. And that will be the sealed, as we talked about, the super sealed.
Do we know if they're showing anyone building their sealed pool?
They may show it, but I think the first hour... Yeah, the first hour is probably going to be just like the casters talking about things and maybe showing bits of building it, but we'll see exactly how much they talk about or show of the building, because the first match is at 9 a.m., which they have an hour to build, so that means they will have been building already when the broadcast starts.
Nice.
So we'll see. It's going to be fun. I think it's going to be great. They are going to have a lunch in the mid-ish day. Let me see when lunch is, because the schedule is up on the website if you go to the article, so you can go look. But each day the lunch break is at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific. And the casters are supposed to play. They don't say what they're going to play. And I was watching a stream that Brandon B Squared was on, and he, of course, did not say because he's not allowed to, but he did kind of hint that, you probably want to pay attention during the casters playing. Don't go and get your own lunch and not watch for an hour, because that may end up being where some of the announcements are made, or they may be playing something for fun or revealing something. So we'll see. No details, no real hints. Just don't tune it out for an hour.
Well, as has become the norm, I'm going to be on a flight when their lunch break is, so I get to watch the Super Sealed, which is what I'm most looking forward to, and then I'm on a flight back home, so I'll have to catch up in the evening.
For anyone who doesn't know, Heath has become a pilot recently.
Yeah, right.
No. He's on a plane a lot. I mean, if you can do it by osmosis, then yes, he's a pilot.
I need to start buying Wi-Fi on the plane. Can we draft? I want to draft.
Can we draft? Do you want to draft now, or do you want to talk about my decks? Which one?
Whatever. I'm just excited. Let's do the draft and then leave the decks for the end. Okay. All right.
Let me get it back up here. I have to get rid of it to do the other thing here.
So the order is: James has first pick, Benny has second pick. Oh, Benny's cracking packs. I don't know if you noticed that, James. And then I've got third pick, and we're gonna do a snake.
It's like let's fill the time by opening a pack while James gets things ready.
There you go.
We got Minnie Mouse.
Hey, I need one of those. I only have 3.
Flower.
Minnie Mouse is actually pretty solid.
And a foil Undermine.
Nice.
Cool.
Not bad. That Minnie Mouse is insane in draft.
Well, I might be able to send you that Minnie Mouse. Just don't tell
I'll probably get one. I'll probably get one from someone locally. It's only like 50 cents. So.
There's the promo Minnie Mouses. You just got to be getting to league there, James. Win the promos.
Oh, no, the promo was a buy a box.
Oh, was it? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I do have one, so I do have 4, but I don't want to use it.
You don't want the promo as your regular slot. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, James.
So here we go. Here's the list of all 28 of our finalists and where they
score points based on their points in the tournament. Right? So it's not just whoever picks the ultimate winner. It's who aggregates the most points out of their 4 players. We're going to draft 4 players.
We're gonna
There's a
draft
name
4.
missing. I'm wondering where there's a.
Oh, jeez. Mr. Broomgate? Oh, no.
I couldn't resist. I will not mention his name. Voldemort.
With my first pick, I'm gonna go. Oh man,
the pressure of the first pick.
The pressure. I mean, there's like 3 of them that I really want to pick.
That's why I'm happy to be in third.
Because you get to pick 2
I
in
see
a row.
3 first picks, and then I get to make 2 in a row.
You get 2 of your, but one of them's going to go away because I know that either me or Benny is going to pick one of them for sure.
Yeah.
So like, who do I pick? This I know I have to pick soon. So,
but by the way, I think we're all going to be very biased towards North American players.
We are, which is why I'm probably going to.
Apologies to our European brethren.
You know what? I'm gonna go with my boy.
Oh, that was gonna be my first pick.
It's my first pick.
So I love this pick. James, could you tell us why you picked Zach first? Because I was gonna pick him first as well. I'm wondering if we have the same thought.
We all 3 were gonna pick him first.
Hey, Zach, that means that's a good first pick, James.
Zach, get on here. Be our guest. We want you.
Yeah. So Zach is, I think, just one of those guys who is very smart, knows how to play the game. Not that all these guys aren't, but he is also a very good deck builder.
Mm-hmm.
And he is very good about judging the meta.
Yep.
So I feel like as a good deck builder that he will have at least a leg up on some of them in the sealed event, because I think he can take and view a set of cards and figure out the best way to put them together in a quick manner, which is what is needed for the sealed event. So I think he will do fairly well at the sealed event, and of course I think he's going to do rather well in the rest of it. It's just the only thing that I feel that Zach has ever had a problem with in his matches is luck. And the luck of the draw, like getting into his worst matchup in a top 64 after he was the best in Swiss. Things like that.
Never going to be.
But when it was on the line, he did the job in Continentals and got into Worlds. So I think that he is going to be a heavy competitor.
I think similar line. The reason why I wanted him was because I think he's the most well-rounded. So I think the 3-deck format benefits him the most. He has played every single color combination under the sun. Yeah. He is not afraid to mix it up. So whereas some of these are exceptional players, but exceptional players at one deck, he has really mixed things up. So yeah, all right. Good first pick.
Benny.
Yeah, actually, same reason for you guys as what you guys wanted. That's why I was also aiming for Zach. And also I've been kind of following him since day one.
Yeah.
He is just top tier.
Yeah.
I will be jealous the entire time now. Give me DKP, please.
Nice.
Yep.
I feel like maybe the only Oceanic player that will be on our list, but we'll see. No shame to Ben Simmons. I love what you did. I was watching the whole time.
I was gonna take Ben Simmons if somebody else took DKP.
All right. I feel like this is an easy one. Zen is my pick. That's an easy one for me. And I'm going to have to go with Frank Karsten as my number 2.
Oh, man. I was going to pick him next.
Yeah. Literally the only European player I feel confident. No, because he has got a really strong background with Magic in both limited and in constructed.
That's exactly why I was going to pick him, because he has been playing limited events in Magic for like 20 years.
Yeah. So he's going to be an exceptional player in that super sealed and in constructed as well.
I forgot to get rid of it.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Now I get to be sad for the next one while you take the rest of the players that I want. All
right, Benny, you're next.
Oh. I'm going to take Edmund Chu.
Oh, nice.
Next on my list. Yep. Good pick.
I'm sure my backup will be going right after this.
All right, you got 2 picks in a row there, James.
Oh, man. Should I pick a European one just to go?
Just to diversify a bit?
Just to diversify? You know what? I'm going to do that for my final pick, probably. Because I think you guys are going to take most of the... Now the problem is who do I take for
I was hoping I could scoop him.
Nope.
Literally the next
He's also
pick.
a solid limited player.
Yeah.
I know Luke likes the limited.
Oh,
and Mo.
I'm picking the wild card, Mo.
That one's definitely a wild card for me.
So you notice how we all just skipped right over Zan because it was like, of course, Zan's going to get picked by somebody first.
Yeah.
But no, I'm picking Luke because, again, I think he's a very well-rounded player. He can play a lot of decks. He can draft. And also, I think he just has been like doing a good job of being focused on it, but not like because I see him on his streams, he hasn't been like, I feel like he hasn't been super stressed about it. So I think he's going to go into this pretty calm and pretty like set and focused. And Mo, just because I love the fact that he made it in on like playing his deck, the Emerald Amethyst deck, just rolling in on it, like focused on it, and he can play other stuff, but I think it's going to be an interesting thing if when he goes in and he has an Emerald Amethyst deck, and people are like, "Well, that's what you're really good at. Should I bench that deck, or should I bench the Steel deck because Steel is, of course, very powerful?" It's like, what do I do? Same problem people are going to have with Ding King Fam is, do they bench red blue, or do they bench Steel? Anyway, Benny, you may take your next.
Yeah, I'll take Diego Says.
Nice.
The only Canadian champion.
Right. Now Heath is like, all right. You get two now, right?
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go with two French players, one French Canadian, one. Actually, I don't know if he's French. Is Teotihuacan French? So I'm going with Sailor with Pierre-Marc Duguay, and I'm going with Teotihuacan.
Teotihuacan was my next pick.
Yeah, I was possibly going to pick him too.
I like him again for diversity. He's played a few different decks, and like you were saying, James, I wanted to diversify a little bit between the Euro and American players because I definitely could have just been biased towards American players.
All right,
Benny, round it out.
Your last one.
Luke got snagged before you. Teotihuacan got snagged on the wheel.
I know. I'm gonna butcher the name. Number 21.
Number 21. Oh yeah. I'm not gonna make you pronounce it.
What's his? Do we know his like screen name or his tag?
I don't off the top of my head, but we could probably search it up.
I'll take DHH. There we go, just like DKP.
All right, so my last one I may because you took my Euro pick.
Yep. You're going all North Am?
I may do all North Am.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know all those other ones. And that's our North American bias showing.
Well, Domingo was the EC champion.
I know. And he did it just with straight up Ruby Amethyst, so the problem with that is that it's a very fair deck, and I think we're going to see almost no Ruby Amethyst in triple deck.
I don't know. No, I think just based on the other combinations of forces, you and two probably not either. But all right, so who are you going with?
I think I'm going to go with the Spice.
Oh, interesting. You're going with a pass down.
He has been killing it recently. He's a very good player, so I think that there's a good chance that he will continue to play well on into the World Championship.
Nice. I would have had Scott in that spot. Nice. Awesome. All right. Now what we need to do is post our teams on Twitter and get people to vote for who they think has the strongest team.
So, how do I trade a draft pick now?
No. Yeah, I'll trade you Sarah Time for DKP. Sure.
I was actually looking at Zach Bivens.
Yeah, right.
Zach Bivens isn't going anywhere.
You can trade 2 of your picks for Zach. Awesome. All right. That was fun.
I'll consider all 4.
Right? All 4 for Zach. I
You
think
get one shot, and that's it.
Yeah. I like Zach.
All right.
Fair enough.
But I'm very happy with my team.
Now there goes another one. All right, let's get rid of this so we can watch him open up yet another pack.
No, these were the extra packs. These are just the extra packs.
Extras. All right.
Yeah.
It's a Mushu.
Just for the record, the 4 that I got in my team were in my top 8.
Nice.
Very.
So I was wanting Zach and Luke for sure. So I got 2 of mine. Morgan, I was going to pick if there was. He was one of my picks if some of my others got picked. But Frank, Zan, DKP, Edmund, all in my tops. So Theo Time was one of my top Euro picks. So, yep.
Nice. My other 4 were actually both of your top 2. So Zach, Luke, Din, and Ed were my other top 4. Nice. 4 in my top 8.
And these guys, all of these guys here, I'm sure they're great players. We've never.
Let's be clear. Mm-hmm. You guys are all so much better than us.
we just
having some fun with it.
We just haven't had a chance to watch you.
Yes, especially the Euro players. Forgive us.
But now we will. We're going to get to see a bunch of them.
Yeah.
All right.
Especially the Euro players. As I look at my team, and it's like Melbourne, Euro.
Yeah, actually, you have a very international team, Benny.
Mr. Worldwide.
You got Canada. You've got the Oz qualifier. You've got Euro in there. Yeah.
I've got guys with mustaches. I've got guys without. I've got guys with beards. Guys without.
You know what you don't have? Guys with hair. Guys without.
Yeah, that is true. I should have diversified a bit.
Yeah.
RMB would be disappointed.
Yeah. Oh, he was so close.
So close.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the triple deck. I want to hear what you've been brewing up there, James.
Okay, so for those who have been under a rock in the Lorcana world, one of the formats at Worlds is going to be called Triple Deck Constructed. You have to bring 3 decks using all 6 inks. You cannot copy an ink in any of your decks, so you have to use one of each ink in your decks. When you get there, it's going to still be best 2 of 3. Before the matches start, your opponent will be able to bench one of your decks. Based on what we saw at World Class Cards, it's probably going to be the steel deck most of the time because no one wants to deal with steel. They get 5 minutes to look at your deck lists. So you get to look at each other's deck lists for 5 minutes and kind of judge based on your decks what you want to banish for that round. So I took it as I wanted something fun to play. I wanted to finish my matches because I know that we're going to go up against time. So I felt fast decks were going to rule the day. And if steel is getting banished, it doesn't really matter what I build for steel because no one's going to. And then I made it.
I think if you do Ruby steel, they might not banish it.
That's true. I made it, and this one they may not either, but I made it slightly low powered enough to where someone may decide they want to like, oh, maybe I should pick that and not banish that one. But then it's also still steel, and I'm going to banish their steel.
Yeah.
So my first one, of course, is going to be what is for me the standard, and that is a Emerald Amethyst deck.
Yep.
Now this one, my spice in this, it's a pretty standard fast version with Cursed Merfolk and extra 1-drops with the Pegasus, and threw in the Palace Guard to have a 1/4 just to last, because if it's going to get hit by some action, anything else is going to go away anyway, and this is inkable. So I put in the fast version, but with a little bit of control with 4 Cloud Kickers, and I am playing the Wrong Lever, Pull the Lever duo, but not in 4-ofs. And I am playing a 4-of of They Never Come Back, which is the card that says 2 characters cannot ready at the start of the next turn, draw a card. And this is my late game push to keep them from challenging into my characters that are earning my lore at the end, and also making sure my hand has something in it. Threw in some friends. I didn't have friends in there initially when I built this, but I took some stuff out and put in friends because there's no way I want to be without some card draw. And of course, because I wanted a goofy, I threw in the ship. What is it? Inventor Goofy, that has ward and gives ward. So hopefully this is another way to have a late game finish. Basically, I just wanted to go faster than usual, but have some form of control to help get rid of some threats. Unfortunately, not a lot of evasive, but we'll see how it goes.
Whoa. No double sing Ursula so you can get double the friends or double the never came back?
Too slow.
Never Came Back's not a song, no.
Yeah.
Lots of actions.
So this is the same direction I would go in. I have green purple as one of mine, and definitely the pull the lever wrong lever, but I would go more of the discard route.
Oh yeah, I just didn't want to play discard.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be the degenerate there playing discard to.
Oh, I'm a terrible degenerate.
Yeah.
The Goofy is the only thing that kind of irks me a bit because I just don't see what you're giving ward to that you care all that much about.
Some other 2 quester, like the Cursed Merfolk, just to get that extra lore so they can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
A Goofy. I mean, a Genie, a Merfolk, something
Genie's
like that.
about the only thing I feel like you'd want to be aggressively giving ward to. But yeah, I mean,
just one lore may be the difference between winning and losing the game, and having that character protected for one extra.
A 3 lore ward is I think your main selling point there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would have, of course, put in Cricky for that, which I normally would, but with the ward kind of sold it for me because Cricky will get taken out with that much ink running around. My opponent likely will have some removal, and the ward helps protect it.
Yeah, I'm like 90% on the same page as you on this one.
All right, the next one is my hyper aggro. This one I can't remember where, but it is a version of this. I think actually a version of this was played by the winning player at the Sunday World Class Cards event that was triple deck.
Are you allowed to play this color combination without playing Mufasa?
Right? There is a Mufasa version I did look at, but I did not. I decided.
Isn't that in the rules somewhere?
Yeah, I know. So this is basically the damage version where you have a lot of characters that either self-damage on play or you Teeth and Ambitions for a little bit of damage on your opponent as well. And get some cards out, draw more with the Julieta and Rapunzel, and just keep your hand full. And lots of 2 lore questers. This deck goes fast. It can win on turn 5 pretty easily.
Yeah.
And that mini, that mini is crazy. Because there will be no steal.
Yep.
And even if you're playing a Ruby deck, they're going to have to get those cards out, and you're going to have other stuff that.
I was going to say, aren't you more worried about Ruby with minis than steal?
Yeah, small Sisu.
But you're going to have so many other cards that are going to be questing for 2. If they take that out, it's like, so I have 2 lore questers questing.
Yeah.
So you can run into it with Maui, but she's not going to go away after running into it with Maui.
You get completely and utterly obliterated by Big Sisu, though.
Yes.
Mother Gothel and Goofy and.
But I should win before that.
Sisu are the only ones that. Yeah, fair enough.
Teeth and Ambitions for the little Sisu so they can't shift.
Yep.
Then
that's a must. You got to get rid of the mini Sisu if they've got it.
And the super goof to take out some stuff.
Yeah,
you got 2 towers at the end.
Now, of course, I have right now only 3 of the lady, which I wanted 4, and that's why this random stupid Snow White is in here. That is.
I was gonna say the Snow White's again one of the few things that's bugging me about this.
But it's because I didn't have. I'm like, you know what? Let me just throw it in just for fun, just to make them think I have like a bunch of them in there. If I ink it, and they think there's more, so they have to save something for it. It's like,
yeah.
But I thought it was fun to throw that in there. Just for funs.
I mean, the fact that you get to banish a deck makes the whole deck building thing flip on its head a bit, right? Because it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I can build this deck knowing that I can banish Steel and not have to deal with Storm, or I can banish Ruby and not have to deal with Brawl,
so
right?
the only thing I have to deal with is higher costed Sapphire removal.
Yeah.
And Ruby, which does have removal up through the costs, but it can't hit as often and can't be sung most of the time.
Yeah.
So, and then my final deck is the one where I'm like, they're probably going to ban this because it's Steel, but also it's not really super high powered. So I got this one from Harlan Sweet.
Yeah.
And it's the ally version of Blue Steel.
The guy knows Blue Steel, that's for sure.
You like my name?
Yeah. It's just all about Goofy.
So this one, the Iago was not in his version, and of course this is my spice in this because I thought it would be fun. I actually played a pack rush match where somehow the Iago was in each pack, and in a limited format, 2 of these on the board are untouchable.
Yeah.
Because they can't be challenged, and there is almost no removal. So at 3/3, they're going to need to play again, going up against a Ruby deck. They're going to need some strength reduction and some brawls and whatnot to be able to get rid of this Iago once there's 2 on the board, or anything else that's exerted. So I could have like 3 other characters out, exert this, and they'd have to take out the other 3 before they can get my Iago.
Yeah.
So it's just a straight, pretty standard Blue Steel, just hopefully questing pretty fast. Again, it's aggro-ish, but with some control.
Yeah.
But if they take this, I'm just going to basically be like, okay, come at me.
Yeah.
And that's what the whole point of all of these is, just let's go fast as we can, finish these games, because I think if a lot of people will probably be playing long and there might be more draws, and win or lose, hopefully winning, I can get ahead of all those draws.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I would have gone quite frankly, and this is where maybe testing matters, but I would have gone the kind of obvious route, which is the green purple, the ruby sapphire, and the amber steel, just because I'm comfortable with all 3 of those decks.
Right.
I would have gone more the aggro on the amber steel, but would assume that would be the one that usually gets banned. But hoping that quite frankly, that the ruby sapphire is the one that gets banned. Or that gets blocked.
I mainly wanted to have some fun, and yes, the ruby sapphire amber steel would be the correct version of those color combinations, but the ruby amber can go very fast, and it surprises people. So my whole plan is, it's going to be the deck I play when I'm going first, and then the blue steel will then I have 2 chances, even if I lose going second, I have 2 chances to win with it and go from there.
I would think if I'm looking at your deck list, the green purple's the one I'm getting rid of.
Yeah, which is fine, because then, I have all that steel and I can take out. If I'm banning their steel, then I have, superior air power.
Yeah.
And then I just play the control game until I can get my ward characters out and start questing.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have just played Emerald Steel and then the rest or whatever.
Emerald Steel and
let them ban it.
Banned for sure.
Yeah, Emerald Steel for sure. Amber Steel almost certainly. Like I said, my only hope there is that Ruby Sapphire might eat a bullet instead. What would you pair with Green Steel, even if you were going in that direction? Green Steel.
Oh, my Green Steel would just be the deal damage and then remove characters that have damage on them. I would make it a not that good deck.
What? Green Steel, Ruby Amethyst, and Amber Sapphire?
That's weird. That's Amber Sapphires is pretty low powered compared to
flood the board. Flood the board.
Another option would be Blue Steel, but the Kiwi version, which is probably the better version. Chernadogs and some form of Ruby Amethyst.
Or you go Sapphire, Amethyst, Ruby Sapphire, or Sapphire, Amethyst, Ruby Amber.
Yep. So again, you have The goes good set goes is a decent deck going second with Blurple.
Yeah.
And then you have the fast deck with Ruby Amber.
Yeah.
And then you have the Emerald Steel discard, which is going to go away.
Yeah.
But Blurple is a very good deck because that deck, if you give it 2 chances, is probably going to win one of the games.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, Ruby Amber can go very fast if you can throw out Triple Daisy right to start and be off to the races.
Yeah. I'm really curious to see what these guys are going to come up with for their triple decks.
I know.
Like, I feel like definitely at least someone's going to come out of nowhere in top 8 with a combination we would have never anticipated. It's probably going to be Zach.
The thing that is interesting to me is everyone also has to think about the finals when you have to play all 3.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And do you make one of your decks a deck that is like way overpowered in this format, which would be Discard or Ruby Sapphire? Or do you have 2 of them and then, you're like you said, your other one is what? Ruby, not Ruby Amber, but Amber Amethyst aggro?
I think if it's your deck, like if you're a DKP or a Sailor with Ruby Sapphire, if you're a Zan with Emerald Steel, I think you kind of have to. Like for me, if I'm going in, I'm going in to win. So I'm playing for the finals.
Yeah. So you make
Don't you have to play all 3 decks in top 8 even?
No, just the final match.
Just the finals.
Just the finals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
maybe they feel like they can win no matter what.
Yeah.
And they just
make
go
the
with
3 best decks you can. You get really, really good at the 2 will not get banished most often. You practice those the most because that 3rd deck is probably one you've been playing a lot and just need to keep going on it. But the other 2 is the ones you need to play that I'm sure these guys have been playing for the last month or 2. And
that would be my approach.
And just go from there.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I
get the reps in with the other 2 decks. Rely on knowing the deck that you know. And and also the stronger you can get at those 2 decks, and you can almost guarantee that someone's gonna block the deck that you're best at, might actually work in your favor to get to the finals, right? Whereas if you're just kind of a generalist, like Zach probably can't guarantee unless he plays like Amber Steel is probably the only deck that he's somewhat affiliated with. Like unless you're going to be less likely to know what your opponent's going to block. Whereas if you're a DKP, they're blocking Ruby Sapphire. So then you can just practice the heck out of the other 2. And now you only have to practice 2 decks.
And it'll be interesting to see if some of them take into account, like I'm going to build Emerald Steel discard because I know it's going to get banned, and then focus on the other 2 decks and build them. Pick a deck that they always want to ban. Even if it's not Steel, be like, okay, I'm always going to ban the Sapphire deck so I never have to deal with ramp. So it's a fair match.
Yeah.
And then build 2 decks to go against the other colors that they may face most often, like Amethyst and Steel. And go from there. Like, can someone build a deck that beats those? And then they can always banish the one that people aren't expecting and see how it goes. It's the mind games of this format are pretty intense.
I really like what Ravensburg has cooked up with this format.
Yeah. All right. What's next?
Benny, do you have any packs left to crack?
Just one.
I feel like you did that on purpose.
He managed to save one.
But before we start undoing packs here, something I did want to announce on episode 100 that we kind of were jam-packed with time and or not time, but stuff to talk about. I've got this Dragon Shield sleeve. Dragon Shield playmat here that I'd like to give away if I could actually show what it is. It's very interesting playmat.
Interesting.
So gonna be giving that away. these amber Dragon Shield sleeves, and the sleeves that actually match the playmat.
There you go.
Nice.
And maybe some other stuff too. Maybe, just maybe.
So you're gonna post that?
I'll post that, and anyone who I'm just gonna go right for the YouTube. Anyone who subscribes, and comments on any one of the videos from now until, I don't know, what do you think? 105? We'll just give it away, or should we just do 101 and just give it away?
No, let's do 105. Give it some time.
That's fine.
Yep.
All right, yeah. So episode 105. If you've commented and you are a subscriber from now till then, well, hopefully you're a subscriber past then. If you are a subscribed by episode 105 and you've commented on a video, you'll enter yourself for that draw, and we will give away that stuff and some other stuff.
I was gonna say I could probably throw something in there.
Nice.
We'll add to the prize pool. James, I can do that because I live by him. You can't add. It's fine. All right, let's crack that pack. Let's see.
All right. Last pack.
Yeah,
I have not
James
opened a single pack this whole time.
Nope. Certainly not 3.
Dewey. They all look the same.
Speaking of which, we still keep getting on the Facebook group people asking if the foils are miscuts.
Right?
They're not miscuts.
I had to log out after a while.
The boy Olaf.
Yeah, Olaf's is solid.
Toby Turtle.
Yeah.
Royal Guard.
Wow, this is a weak pack.
Jock.
Ugh.
The Coachman.
Ah, very good. I completely underestimated Coachman. Luckily, I woke up as I was talking about it.
She's your person. Yeah, it's actually a lot better. And my coworker Cody, shout out, Tiana, was the one who actually said, "Hey, this is actually a really good card before we go draft." Stitch.
Oh, hey, look at that. Legendary Stitch.
There you go.
Nice.
And a foil mini.
Oh, look at that. A foil
mini. Minis all over the place.
Nice.
Yeah, Coachman, like, even if you just look at him as a 2-cost 4/2 on attack, even the evasive notwithstanding. Like,
well, that was what Cody said was he's like, well, if you think about it, it says, well, 2 or more of your characters are exerted. Him and another character.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was like, hold up. I need to grab that quick.
Yeah. It's so much better than I ever thought when I was first thinking of it. Because I'm like, someone could just challenge your other character, and then he's not. Well, no, you wait till you can use him aggressively to take out a much higher value character.
Now, if I didn't have 4 of them, I'd take that Stitch because it's a legendary and you need to keep the legendaries. But otherwise, I'd take the mini.
Man.
Because I want a foil.
Mini's very good also. Yeah.
That is my 4th Stitch, actually. Ooh. Shia LaBeouf.
Hey, look, it's Myrtle.
No, it's Shia LaBeouf. Little sister.
I love that video.
Prince Ahmed.
Ryder.
I love how you guys even try. Our cameras are not good enough for
March Hare.
March Hare wrecked me, by the way. Shout out Morgan in a draft.
There you go.
Oh, I love that Arthur.
Zipper. Hey, look, it's a
Coachman back. I'm still probably taking Arthur, but I mean the 2-drops are kind of weak, so I don't know. Coachman and Arthur are probably relatively equivalent.
Wrong lever. Ugh, Faline.
Yeah. Nope.
And Wasabi.
Pick one, pack one? Oof. That's a tough one, actually. I really like Coachman, but I feel like Arthur can just win a game on its own. Sometimes Arthur's just ink, quite frankly, but sometimes it can win a game on its own.
Yep.
So I think
I was tempted to throw him into the blue steel, but of course that's an ally deck, so he doesn't really fit.
Silly heroes,
right?
Taking all the spotlight.
All right.
I have not been doing anything over the last 2 weeks. Anyone have any moments of gratitude that they have on mind? We don't have to force it if we don't have one, but
No.
I do.
Okay.
Nice.
I don't think I've done this one before.
It might be a repeat.
I don't think I have. Moment of gratitude for Heath and James.
Aww.
Thank you guys for joining the podcast. And I was going to say keeping me sane, but I never was there.
I don't know if we're helping that. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if we're helping with that, but.
And trying to get things under control.
I think being a shoulder to cry on.
Yeah. Thank you for joining me in my mutual. No, but thank you guys for coming along. It's been a great journey, and yeah, like I said, there's been in the last episode, there's been days where you're kind of like, I don't know if I want to come on. And you guys have definitely breathed new life into it, and it makes it a joy every time I come on. Even when we do have that little break, I'm like, I feel like something's missing today. So, for anyone who doesn't know, we took a break last week. For all the fathers out there for Father's Day.
No.
Wasn't me.
Well, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Betty. Yeah, glad to be here.
I just wanted to give you a day off, you know.
All right. Should I attempt to play the music again? No. Just put it in.
Give it a try.
It'll start somewhere where I ended. It'll start where I ended it. So.
Thank you for joining us on this magical journey. We hope you'll join us again soon. And let us know what your guys' draft picks are. You've seen the list. You've seen who we've picked. So now I want you to do two things. Let us know your draft picks, but then also, who are you backing in this race of three?
Yeah, who's got the best team? I would say if you're in Benny's spot, because I feel like that's the toughest spot, being in the middle. If you're in Benny's spot, who would you have picked in his number 2 seed there?
The number of times that I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna pick this guy next," and then one of you just swooped in there. And I was like, come on!
I feel like that is the toughest spot.
Pick.
Yeah, like when you can pick the back-to-back at any point, that helps a lot.
So nice.
All right,
I got to remember that for
everybody.
This year.
See you later.